Britons have staged a mass demonstration to protest against the UK's use of armed drones in Afghanistan.
Did you kill today? David Cameron, CIA! How many kids did you kill? David Cameron, CIA!
Protesters have marched on an airbase in Lincolnshire County in the east of England, according to the Royal Air Force. The military base was used for the first time this week to control drone flights for Afghanistan missions. Britain's military previously controlled the drones from the Creech Air Base in the US state of Nevada. Rally organisers have said they want to press the government to abandon the use of drones, which they say have been responsible for killing thousands of civilians in war zones. They said the deadly drones have become indiscriminate weapons in the hands of politicians to launch military interventions in other countries. Let's go to San Francisco and talk to Richard Becker with the Answer Coalition. Welcome to the programme. So, Mr. Becker, we're seeing the drone campaign going from the United States to Britain. How widespread is this drone strategy going to become?
Well, we hope that it will become a worldwide movement to end drone warfare and all the wars, in fact. But it's very important that the demonstration that happened today, 2 weeks ago, there were demonstrations in many cities in the United States, a National Day of Action. There are demonstrations taking place today in Western New York, in Syracuse, New York. And what makes it so important is that the governments of the United States and Britain, which have acted as partners in the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, see the drones as not only lethal weapons, but politically convenient weapons that they can use with casualties only occurring on one side, which they hope will diminish anti-war sentiment inside the US, inside Britain. So it's very important that this movement rise around the world, and particularly and we know that there's a great anger toward the use of drones in Yemen and Pakistan and Afghanistan and Somalia and elsewhere. But it's very important that the movement develop, an anti-war movement develop this wing that is particularly focused on opposing drones and the massive civilian casualties that they are inflicting on people in Pakistan, in Afghanistan, and in other countries.
And you said it can be used as a political weapon. What do you exactly mean by the drones being a political weapon? In what sense?
Yes, it's politically convenient from the point of view of the Pentagon, the White House, 10 Downing Street, because the casualties are all inflicted on the other side. There are no casualties, or at least, there are no fatalities on the British side or on the US side of those who are piloting these drones, because they're sitting safely inside darkened rooms at computer screens and selecting targets and acting as judge, juries, and executioners without really risking any harm to themselves. And from the point of view of the leaders in the US and in Britain, minimizing their own casualties is, from their point of view, key to minimizing public opposition to this form of warfare.
And so do you think the US is using this drone strategy in order to counter its economic problems in the defense budget?
I think that they're using it for that reason, and also to minimize, they hope to minimize anti-war sentiment and opposition to their wars that they are continuing in different forms. So that while nearly all the US troops are out of Iraq, having left Iraq in a terrible situation, and they are cutting down the number of troops in Afghanistan, they want to be able to continue along the lines of a strategy of global domination to wage wars, to intervene militarily in many countries around the world, but to be able to do so in a way that's politically less expensive and economically less expensive, although the expense for the drones is also very, very high in economic terms.
Indeed. Well, we'll have to leave it there for the time being. Many thanks to Richard Becker with the Answer Coalition from San Francisco. Thanks for your time there, sir.